Welcome to Sailing in ASKA. For this video, I'm going to take us on a trip out to sea, and I'll explain how it works the whole way. I'll be doing it live, mistakes and everything included, so you can see how it works. Let's start with the basics. D paddles to the right, starboard. A paddles to the left, port. S reverses, paddles backwards. W paddles forwards, towards the bow. If you notice, on the bottom right, you have an important meter to study. The blue arrow indicates the direction that the wind is coming from. The white arrow that you can see moves all around is the direction of the Karvi itself. When you're in very strong winds, even if you're trying to go a certain direction, you will notice that you will slide slightly to one side. This is totally normal. Don't worry about it. Sailing is not something that will happen in a straight line very often. Not unless you're deciding to just pick a direction and go for a little sail, that's fine. But if you have a destination in mind, it is very likely that you will not be sailing there in one direct line. So, we are going to set sail and pick a direction out here. That's our destination. So let's see how difficult it is to get out of here. Keep in mind, the seasons will have trade winds, seasonal trade winds. On this particular seed, in the autumn, I have a very nice southerly trade wind that blows from the north to the south. So with my harbor on the south end of the island, it's very easy to get out. In the winter, it's the opposite. The wind blows from the south to the north, so it's difficult to leave. As you'll notice here, it is not possible to sail into the wind. This is called sailing in irons. You're dead in the water. It's not going to happen. You'll actually start reversing. So what we have to do is we can try to go close hauled here and get the sail adjusted as close as possible to catch the wind, and we'll start moving. But pointing ourselves to the direction of our destination isn't going to work with these winds, and we're going to crash into the coast already. This is not gonna work. Not good. Not a good situation. So we need to get out of here. We're going to reverse this, and in order to reach our destination to the east, we are going to have to zigzag our way up there through the wind. And the important thing to remember about this is, even if you are adding distance to your trip, to your voyage, by zigzagging in and out of the wind to reach your destination, you will still get there faster, because your sailing speed will be so much higher that reaching your destination will be faster than simply trying to sail through it, which won't work, or paddling directly there. Okay? The sailing in this game is very difficult. It's not Sea of Thieves, where you're driving a car around on ice, or Valheim, okay? It's not designed for babies. The sailing in this game is designed for a chieftain. And if you want to be a chieftain ASKA or chieftain Ragnar, you have to learn how this works. It's not easy, but you can do it. I know you can. So, this is our destination to the east, but the winds are preventing us from sailing directly there. So what we're going to do is actually sail past it from a distance. This is how we chart a path. We're going to sail past it from a distance and then swing the boat around through the eye of the wind. That's called tacking. We're going to tack through the eye of the wind once we're at an acceptable position, adjust our sails, and then start sailing back up to our destination. It's possible that we'll have to do this multiple times, and you may have noticed on my map how I have these zigzag patterns. That, you can see them all over right here. That's how the sailing works. You zigzag. It's more distance, but it's way, way faster. You will get there on time. So for now, things are looking good. We're cruising along here. All you have to do is grab the steering lever, steer yourself around, and when it's time to adjust the sails, this is sailing solo, you will release the lever, grab the sails, adjust them as needed, head back to the lever, and continue to steer. When you are turning through the eye of the wind, when you are tacking through the eye of the wind, it also helps to prevent slowdowns to paddle through it as well. So when you are solo sailing and you are tacking through the eye of the wind, make sure that you also paddle through it to ensure that you don't lose that much speed. The wind is starting to adjust in this process, so we can slowly start creeping closer to the direction of our destination. This is good. This is a fortunate set of circumstances that's happening to us. So for now, we're going to continue. We will simply sail in this direction, keeping an eye not only on the wind, but the orientation of the Karvi itself. We're almost there. I still want to get past our marker somewhat, and then we will zigzag back over to it. In fact, when this happens, we might have to pass it again, like I said, and then we'll go back and forth until we zigzag up to our destination. So, it looks like the wind is changing again, before I intended. So, I'm going to release the lever, adjust the sails, head back, and here we are. Now, since the winds have adjusted more in our favor, we can actually start heading directly to our destination. Sailing during storms like this, blizzards or thunderstorms, is how you reach maximum speed. It's more difficult, it's more dangerous. As you can see right here, I didn't plan this. Something went wrong and I fell overboard. So I left this in just so you can see what happens. Thankfully, the Karvi will stop. You can get back up and grab the lever, climb back aboard. Biggest problem with this, of course, is that I will have a significant loss of warmth. But we can keep going from here, so let's continue. At this time, it looks like with our charted path and the winds that shifted in our favor, we can sail directly to our destination. So we're just going to continue doing that for a while. When you do have a full crew, the villagers will take care of adjusting the sails for you. But of course, sailing the Karvi in co-op is much more effective and really a lot of fun. I got to do some co-op sailing with Dana last night just before I started working on this video, and it was great. She learned it real quick. It was a lot of fun. So I'm just going to keep making these minute adjustments along the way. Make sure we're sailing with the wind here, riding with the wind. And in no time at all, sailing 18 up to, I think my maximum speed has been 23, 24, maybe 25 knots. This thing can haul ass. So you'll get there in no time. Don't worry about it. Well, you do kind of have to worry about it, but you don't have to worry about it. You gotta worry, but not worry. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. We made it. There we are. Simple as that. One big zigzag was all we needed this time. That was fortunate. We can furl up the sails, and you'll see the boat will slowly come to a stop on its own, but reverse paddling does of course help. This is also a strategy you can use if you are hunting the Schlambakua. Because when the Schlambakua attacks you, you'll see a big circle, red circle in the sea, which will show you where it's about to attack. And if your Karvi is on a collision course with it, and you don't have time perhaps to avoid the attack, you could try to reverse out of it by sailing directly into the wind and then paddling backwards, and you will rapidly start to slow down and then reverse. which might just save you. So since we've made it to our destination, let's start going back home. My harbor is on the compass. The problem is, if I try to sail directly there, I'm going to beach myself into the main island, right here. So once again, we have to go past our destination and then sail back up into it. And I don't know what the winds are going to be like out there. I am going to assume they won't cooperate. So for now, let's start going to this marker that I set up in the ocean. And then once we start approaching that location, we can make adjustments as needed. There's a good chance we might not even need to go that far. But we'll just see what happens. You have to constantly keep your eyes moving when you are sailing. Watch the mini-map. Watch your sail meter. You have to watch the wind, watch your orientation. This stuff matters. When we're sailing like this in a nice straight line, it's comfortable. And this is our chance to take a breath. This is our chance to breathe and relax for a moment. Until we have to start going through the wind once again. So we'll relax like this for a while, make some distance, and then turn back towards our harbor when the time is right. And you'll know when the time is right. You learn it. It's not something you can exactly calculate, because you are at the mercy of the wind out here. The wind will tell you when the time is right. You have to determine, you have to be decisive, and determine when that time is right, based on where you are and how the wind is behaving. So you can see how close we are. Visibility is very low. We're close to the shore from here, but we still haven't cleared the harbor enough that I want to start turning back towards it, because I want to clear the shoreline and make sure I can effectively get back to my harbor. But we're almost there. We're making really good progress. So let's continue on for a little bit. The wind is slowly shifting. In fact, it's pretty favorable right now, so let's start turning towards the harbor. But you can see there's edges of the shoreline we really got to watch out for. You don't want to get too close. So let's adjust a little bit. Just south of the harbor. I don't want to sail directly towards it yet, because if I do that, I'll beach myself. So since we have a nice wind at our backs, things have calmed down, at least with the ease of this trip. We can start heading back to our harbor. And again, I'm showing you how this all works in a blizzard, to show you that this is the most difficult way you could possibly sail. This is highest level difficulty sailing. It's going to be much easier with nice calm seas. So this is proving that it can be done. Thunderstorms, blizzards, that's hardcore stuff. This is hardcore stuff. But it can be done. So if you have nice calm seas, nice calm waters on a summer morning, summer afternoon, you'll be having a much better time. But the principles are all the same. Tacking through the wind is important. That's how it works. Jibing is when you turn with the eye of the wind. You turn the sails. It's the opposite of turning the bow through the eye of the wind. Jibing is when you turn the stern through the eye of the wind. So you can see some of the shoreline on the mini-map now. I actually made a bit of a mistake here. You'll see it in a moment. It came up quicker than I thought. Eventually we'll see the lighthouse from the harbor show up as well in the distance, but visibility is so low that it snuck up on me a little bit. There it is. We just now saw it. So make sure you watch that mini-map. You have to know where you're at. And this is my mistake. I adjusted the sails. What I should have done is furled them up to about half-mast before adjusting them. And you can see I bumped into the dock a little bit here. Thankfully it wasn't that severe. And now we're just paddling back into reverse and then moor ourselves back to the dock here. But the mistake was that I gained too much speed. I turned back into the eye of the wind too close to the shore. Or rather, I didn't turn back into the eye of the wind. I turned too much to gain more speed. And we crashed a little bit. But that's how it's done. It's as simple as that. Zigzag through it, have a nice time, and practice. Practice with calm seas. But even if it's difficult out there, you can do it. I hope this helps. Thanks for watching and listening.